Hello, all you potheads, and welcome back to another episode of the Good Greens Podcast, the show where cannabis meets culture, craft, and conspiracies. Every week, we dive deep into the stories behind the plant, from small batch growers in industry to scientists, activists, and everyday enthusiasts. We're here to explore what makes cannabis culture more than just a puff. You're watching episode 28, so pick it, pack it, fire it up, come along, and let's have some hits from the bong. Damn straight, I stole that and hope they don't copyright me.
Right?
Today's guest is someone who lives and breathes the plant just as we do. Not just as a product, but as a culture, a craft, and connoisseur, representing some of the most respected names in the craft cannabis space. And he's here to share what really means to grow with intention. Everyone, please give a big welcome to Fabian.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for coming out this evening. We've definitely been waiting to have this. We got in contact a while ago, tried to get it a little bit earlier, and this is when you were available. So
Better late than never, right?
Yeah.
Better late than never.
It's been exciting. I almost wasn't prepared for this too. I completely forgot until midweek that we had this going on. I've struggled at times with what we can and cannot say to our clients as well, right? They come in, start things as a bud tender.
For you're talking medical advice and things like that.
Where they have those kind of things, they come in expecting that,
Right.
and such. I also feel like a good percent of the populace is undereducated on a lot of what they're coming in to buy. I figured you were one of the best people we could get to share your journey and your opinions on all this.
Well, I think when you look at education in the industry, I think there's a couple of real key things we have to look at, and that is there's a lot of education happening in a lot of the stores, but a lot of it is cannabinoids, terpenes, the effects, the flavors, the fun stuff.
Yep.
In my personal opinion, I don't think our industry is even close to ready for that yet. I think we have probably 75 to 80% of the products on our market shouldn't even be consumed.
Yes.
Because they exceeded mold bacteria limits, they had to be irradiated, and they're still full of dead mold bacteria, and they're going to cause people health issues down the road.
Yes.
We're going to see people start having a lot of health issues. They're going to start blaming cannabis, and in the long run, it's not cannabis, it's the shitty cannabis that's being grown in this industry.
Prime example, this shit is some dog shit that I've been smoking on.
There's plenty of that in the industry. So one thing that I really try to focus on in what I do is educating people on the kind of shortcuts that big producers take, remediation, irradiation, different forms of remediation, and how they should really do the research and look into the producers that they choose to smoke. Because it does make a big difference.
Yeah.
The education that I think this industry needs is just that. It is, learn more about the grower. Know your grower.
Yeah.
Know who's producing your product, so you know if it's been mass produced and thrown through machines to trim it. When a big company does that, because they can't get enough people to hand trim, because they're growing too much product, they throw it through a machine and they rip all those trichomes up.
Oh yeah.
It really
I've
affects
worked
the
with
quality.
those machines before, and it hurt me to see how much waste as well. It's the floor, how much product goes away. When it could be a lot cheaper. I feel the industry itself too, if there wasn't so much waste, if things were just done properly, right? If we don't cut corners with other shit, why are we doing with something that's so fresh with this industry too? When we work so hard for legalization, right?
Yeah.
Like I had a customer come in today, and first words out of his mouth, "Oh, is this a government dispensary?" And I'm like, sure as shit it is. Everything we have here is fantastic. Whatever I sell to you, I would personally smoke. And he turned around and walked out right away.
Huh?
Because it wasn't like one of these res shops. And I'm like, these are the kind of people that I feel is what's still making this shit so fucking taboo.
So, I think people are very confused with legalization, right? Especially the average consumer.
Yeah.
They don't understand a lot of the time the difference between a legal shop and an illegal shop or an aboriginal shop.
Red and black market's two different things.
But the one thing I want to get away from in this industry is if people are looking at legal stores as government shops, they're not government shops. They're government regulated.
Government regulated.
But they're
personally owned.
They're owned by for the most part, a lot of the independent shops are owned by business people, by family people, by locals, by guys that are just trying to run a business. Same with a lot of the small producers in this industry. There's a lot of guys that are just out trying to make a living, doing what they did before legalization.
Yeah.
But they're trying to make it and do it properly. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about this industry when we focus on the growers that are guys just like us, from our neighborhoods, guys from our towns, guys growing wheat.
Yeah.
That's why I love that you guys support 67 Sins so much.
Yeah.
You know it's locally grown. And Steve, the master grower, he was growing long before legalization.
Yep.
Right? And he's maintaining that style of growing and that size and that scale. He does have to expand because he's got massive demand.
Oh fuck yeah!
But he's a smart guy, and he's not going to a bigger grow room. He's going to more grow rooms, keeping it at the scale that he's used to.
And that's what I like to hear because I have worked in a couple other facilities before I was a bud tender, right? And there's somewhere you walk in and it looks like a gigantic, huge gym room, and it's like, how do you keep this sanitary? Right. Sanitary is the big thing. Like, back in the day where you like grind up weed and get the cat hair and shit, some asshole was trimming on his table next to his cats and stuff.
Right.
And you're like, what the fuck?
That's what I see 90% of the homegrown people give me. They'll give me a nugget to try their homegrown, so I give them an example. I gotta pick through it first.
Right.
Get all the hairs out, because almost everybody's got pet hairs in
the amount of times I have people bring in me homegrown because I do this podcast, right? And they, nice big fat nugs covered in trichome, but I look at it right away and I go, I know what I'm going to find the moment I open this up. And they're like, what? I'm like, it's going to look like a spider web. I pull it open, I'm like, this is mold. And I look at them right away, I'm like, this hit a trick because the one side of the bud's flat.
Yeah.
So you're not hang drying to start, you're pan drying. I'm like, did you try burping? Did you do the burping steps? Which I find a lot of companies are actually skipping.
A lot of companies
Which
don't
is
cure
fucking
it all,
crucial,
right?
Your
It's hard
jars,
companies don't
gotta burp the jars.
Yeah. At least a 2-week process.
Yeah.
At least.
So, to me, if you're a proper grower and you know what you're doing, you're gonna do it your way.
Yeah.
And as long as that bud's turning out good, great quality, then your way is how you're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
The issue that we're having in this industry is we're getting a lot of suits and ties involved in growing.
Yeah.
A lot of
And they don't
corporate.
give two shits about the quality. They only care about the dollar. And if they can push out a product faster, a lot of these companies don't even look at trichomes.
Well, isn't that what
They
happened?
harvest based on schedule.
Isn't that what happened to Houseplant? Like Seth Rogen's stuff, didn't that go
No.
tits up because
I don't know. I think so there's been a lot of companies that just kind of move around from different umbrella to different umbrella, owned by different
And
companies,
like
different
Canopy's
companies.
huge right now, Canopy growth and so there's
There's a lot of things. I try to go on Reddit every once in a while and just throw out there some of the big names so that people know all these little brands are under this one big umbrella.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, not all corporate sucks. Don't get me.
No,
I don't want to give that
there can
impression
be
because
benefits with
I
it.
do like some big corporate companies because they put out good butt.
Yeah.
But not all craft is great either, right? There's a lot of small companies that the guys are fucking something up along the way, not putting out good quality, or they're putting out stuff that's moldy, or they're putting out stuff that shouldn't be
I
smoked,
feel some people just aren't letting the plant talk to them.
right?
Like that's something Matt with Unit 15 was telling me when I was talking about his grow rooms and stuff and his
Yeah.
process. I'm like, can you tell me some of the tricks of the trade? He said, yeah, I'll tell you it all. I'm like, beautiful, right? He's not afraid to hide what they're doing, and yeah, he was telling me like they have a rough average grow time, but he's like, we just let the plants, show us, tell
And
us.
that's the way it's got to be. That's the way it's been for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, these big companies are trying to say, let's upscale it. I want to grow, instead of 500 plants in this room, I want to grow 5,000 or, and when you get rooms too big, you end up with microclimates within the rooms. Nothing is consistent in the plant, and they still harvest it all at the same time. So there's too many issues with growing at a large scale that
Too much demand.
that fucks up the plant.
I find people are buying way too much cannabis and in shitty quantities. Meanwhile, they could be buying a little bit better, buying less, and we'd have more time to grow, more time. There wouldn't be as much demand. Like I feel like it's a catch-22 right now because like people want good stuff, but they want to buy now, and don't realize.
Well, and that's the problem with mindset of most consumers is that they have that idea that they go into the shop and ask for the highest THC for the lowest price, and that's going to save them the most money. But in reality, when they do that, they're buying something that they're going to have to smoke 2 or 3 joints of to get high.
Yeah.
So they're not saving money.
No.
If they spend a little bit more, and some of the brands that I work with, like 67 Sins, Unit 15, Frost, they're premium flower,
Yeah.
but they're not at premium price points.
Hell no.
Okay, there's some
No.
brands out there charging $45 and $50 for an eighth. And to me, those brands fucked up and they're missing their demographic because they're after old stoners, they're after heavy smokers. And heavy smokers aren't gonna spend $50 on an eighth because they're gonna smoke that in an afternoon.
We also miss our own
Right.
prices, so they're not gonna wanna spend that.
So that's why the brands that I'm currently working with, I think they've hit the nail on the fucking head because they're all growing it right. They're taking the time to cure it properly, process it, package it properly, and great price points across the
I
board.
have personally been getting people to try and stop percentage shopping. Unless they're going for percentages in certain terpenes, right? Because I find certain terpenes bring on a different level and experience, different experiences.
Absolutely.
with
So
people.
just watch the percentage side. Like
Yeah.
definitely look for terpenes that work for you, but try not to look at the percentages because just like they fuck the THC numbers, they're fucking those percentage on terp numbers.
And it is hard to keep a plant consecutive over time. I have
100%.
personally learned that, which is why, like, with the purple octane specifically, I preach this to everybody. Like, when it first came out, the numbers were a little bit higher, and everyone kind of saw the numbers drop slightly. And then they kind of got hurt or scared, and I'm like, no, look, like, this has been the same. It tastes the same. It's always cured the same in the bag. It doesn't matter what the fucking date is on it. It always seems to be the same. The weight is never wrong in the bag. And on top of that CBG with
Right.
the
It's nice
indica is just like,
Love CBG.
it's that
So
nice
I
little
think-
ass kicker, right?
You will see with almost any strain that any brand comes out with initially, they'll have like their highest THC and it will gradually drop over time if they're pulling from the same mother.
Yes.
So until they do a tissue culture regeneration to get that plant fresh again and they start from scratch
I was
again,
hoping you
or
would
grow
have
from
mentioned
seed
that.
again, right? But your mother can produce so many generations of offspring before
So it starts to
she
get hurt.
deteriorates, and that starts to, the THC starts to drop, and you get less terpenes and less flavor and less quality product.
For those new to growing, like, I know the answer obviously, but would you suggest somebody start right from germination or get a clone?
If you're new, absolutely, please get a clone.
Thank you. Okay.
And the only reason I say that is because I used to grow outdoors a lot.
Mhm.
And in the last few years, I've stopped because almost every year, somebody within a few kilometers of me is popping a seed that happens to be a male.
Yeah.
And all my plants go to seed.
I had a couple plants sitting in my windowsill. And, buy them guaranteed feminized auto bloom. Northern Lights. Old school strain too, but all of them stress ball. And I don't know if that's, because I know someone else in the area that's growing too. His stuff, he was growing in his backyard, didn't grow any seeds, so I'm thinking mine got stressed somehow
Yeah,
too.
because stress can cause the plant to harm.
And
right?
that's
then
a
it'll
lot of
seed
thing that
itself.
people don't realize too, is and then they panic. And it's like, you can still save it, it's not gonna be as good, but you can save it. Now, I wouldn't go and produce that if you're a company kind of idea and sell that to people.
It's
So-
freaking funny. Every time I've undergrown, which has only been 2 times, I've only grown 2 plants. They've all been seed grows, never clones.
I mean,
They've all
some
turned out
people
great.
like to germinate, right? Like, if you know what you're doing with germination, like practice with
Oh, I
tomatoes.
didn't even germinate. I
Tomatoes are
just
very similar.
plopped the seed in the ground and fucking prayed.
Yeah.
And
I think that's how everybody grows their first few plants.
yeah,
Really, in all honesty, I think that's how everybody does it. They
I'll
drop some
admit.
seeds, maybe a bag seed they found in a product.
yeah.
Before-
There was a bag seed I found in the
Right.
product.
Before I had the knowledge that I do now, like, people call me like a connoisseur or whatever now, right? But back in the day, I was like, oh, I know everything about weed. I'm like weed king. I didn't know shit, right? So my first grow, I wasn't one of those people that dropped a seed. I went and I bought a big expensive grow tent. The most expensive lights I could. I had this water misting system, everything, man. Like, this guy sold me up shit's creek. I walked out like $4,000 later on that grandmother's
Jesus.
paycheck. My grandmother's like, we're gonna grow some good weed. None of it grew.
Yeah. See, and in all honesty, I've never been able to grow amazing quality myself at home. And that's why I look for these growers like this.
Yes, people that know their
in
shit.
this industry that know what the fuck they're doing because that's the beauty of legalization. We're able to find these legacy growers, these guys that have been growing for fucking decades.
They can now
And supplying
shine.
their towns, supplying their cities,
Yeah.
supplying their neighborhoods. Now they're able to go legal, get the permits. It's
Not
a
have to
struggle
hide.
for them because they've got to fucking fight against all the regulations and the taxes and the bullshit that go with it.
That's the big thing, is the amount of taxation before the consumer is ridiculous. I mean, in general, it's a plant, should it really be taxed?
Well, you know, like it's like anything that the government's gonna
It's,
regulate.
I get it, right, there is
Yeah.
services, like the overhead and
The
whatnot.
biggest thing is that it's hard for a small business to start in this
Yeah.
industry because there's not.
I feel that there should be more grants for something, if the government wants to regulate it as a medicinal thing and whatnot, right? We should have some sort of medicinal grants or something.
Well, 100%. Like I know that there are things in place for like veterans and things like that,
Yes.
and there are. I think that medical cannabis needs to be separated from recreational
Please, yeah.
cannabis.
Yep.
I think that the fact that we're seeing a lot of cannabinoid isolates and cannabinoid specific things,
Mhm.
those are for ailments.
Yes.
Those are for when people want help with something that's bothering them.
Stop coming
and
in
those
buying-
should be medically supplied with and come with advice.
Yes, yes.
And it shouldn't be expected of somebody in a recreational store to give any kind of medical advice.
Right.
Because they're not educated in that.
Which is why I
Medical
understand why
advice.
we're not supposed to give medical advice. I get that, we're not pharmacists, we're not doctors.
There's no separation really in our industry anymore. Like I've been buying medical for years, and my medical supplier recently went under, so I have no more supply. So I'm looking for a new medical supplier, but I don't know. I don't like that a lot of people are now going into shops and asking for medical advice because a lot of doctors won't give it,
Yes.
right?
Then they rely on the bud tender and don't realize it's not the bud tender's job. Their job is technically, like, people come in, they're like, oh, you must love your job. I'm like, truthfully, I tend to till and I grab product. The weed sells itself.
Yeah.
Like, if it's proper product, people know it. Or these, companies that are coming, 67 cents, I saw them explode. Like, it was nice to see something local blew up like that too, right? And
Oh, yeah.
Unit 15's pretty close to here.
Yeah. It's
I don't know where Frost is, unfortunately.
Frost is Burlington, so they're really close
Burlington.
too. Yeah.
Awesome, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna reach out to them before this episode and I've been so busy.
Yeah.
I crashed out last week and I just I forgot, so I'm gonna wind up messaging them after we film it, like, we were on, but
Yeah.
they've always had good product. I picked up their 7-gram bag of, I'm having such a
Right now it's either Khalifa mints or frosted fruit cake.
it was the fruitcake, thank
right?
you.
It was super
That was
fruity,
whole-
amazing
The
nose.
undertones, it was like raspberry with
And the
like,
color within the nug, just gorgeous.
and the pistils were nice and long, sticking out, which is always like, to me, it might just be a personal preference, but weed isn't weed to me without those visual pistils. It's
Right.
gotta have 2 different tones, some nice
100%. So I've always been a flower guy because I like to get the nug. I want to grind it up. I want to
Yeah.
see it. I want to smell it once it's ground. I like when there's a Boveda in a pack.
yes.
A lot of people don't. But it's because there's a misunderstanding as to what a Boveda does. And to me, if a bud is packaged at the right humidity and a Boveda is put in there with it, it basically seals all the smell within that nug. That's why it's a little more muted when you open that
Yeah.
bag. If there's no Boveda and you crack open the bag, you get a big whiff of
And your
great
cannabis
nose and
ages faster.
terpenes, but that's all coming off the bud.
Yep.
I want to trap it in that nug so when I grind it and I smoke it, I smell it and taste it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not all dissipated before it gets to me.
Yep.
So I love a Boveda or a humidity pack within that.
That's why I like the fact that we sell them over.
Yeah.
Like, there's people that come in and other clients look and like, why are you buying those? And I'm like, buy one, put it in with your stash and just see. Like, it in a sense almost revitalizes like a stale bag in a sense, but it doesn't add any moisture. I feel it just stops it from deteriorating more.
So I think that's brings up a good point. There is an issue with the Bovedas, and this is why most people have kind of steered away from them and not like them, and that is that a lot of the big producers will have over-dried bud, and they will use Bovedas to try to reconstitute that within the bag, right? So they'll package the dry stuff, put the Boveda in there in hopes that it'll put some moisture back in the nut.
garbage.
What you did when you open your bag and you realize that that Boveda is crystallized, you know that bud was put in there over dry.
Dry, very dry.
So,
sucked up moisture.
You know, it's not a premium product, it's not great quality. It's not saying that it's horrible quality, but they fucked up somewhere along the line.
Oh, yeah.
How many other times did they fuck up?
It was like all those bags of tweed.
There's a reason companies don't survive in this industry, right?
Right.
Most funniest thing I saw in a store, for a while, brands were giving away fridges with their logos on them and stuff like that to stores, right?
Yeah.
Not allowed anymore, but a lot of the stores got them. And I went into a store that had 3 tweed fridges lined up in a row, and they ripped the T off. So the fridges just said weed on the side.
Yo, I like the
Perfect,
super toast, the toaster that they had.
Right.
That was pretty cool. Did you ever work on that?
I'm still looking for the right size toaster. My toaster is not even the right
Put it
size.
on a functional
Yeah, yeah.
one.
nice,
Yeah.
nice, or paint one up to look like it or something like that. Yeah.
I have to say, this is a side note, but it's really nice to get a guest on that just like, I haven't even looked at my notes yet. Any of my questions, it's just been constant conversation.
It's the beauty of it, man.
This is
It's
what I mean,
just
like, you're-
flow, we talk about whatever, but if
you're
you've got questions,
educated.
fire away.
You're educated about this shit, which is what I enjoyed, like.
Well, I think, so I basically what I'm trying to do in this industry is just educate as many people within the industry and as many consumers about what goes on behind
How
the
long have you been
scenes.
doing this?
I started this about 1.5 years ago.
Okay.
Okay, I left a 6-figure position. I spent about 3 years as a national sales manager for a medical company. And a lot of my job, and they had great product on the market, and I always enjoyed promoting the product. I was proud of the fact that they didn't irradiate. They had some issues, but it was clean and it was good product.
Yeah.
I spent 3 years working with them, and I ended up doing a lot of teams meetings, talking about a lot of suits and ties, doing a lot of bulk sales overseas, with Germany, Australia, places like that.
Germany
across our own
takes
country.
on a lot of our
They
stuff.
were taking a ton of product from this company, but I wasn't enjoying that aspect of it. I was like, that's not for me. That's data and analytics and numbers.
Really
And
more
I want to be
personal.
with the weed. I want to be fucking sharing the weed with people that smoke weed.
Exactly.
So I walked away from that job and I started working at this. And in all honesty, I still make probably about half of what I used to make.
Mhm.
But for me, it's not about the money. It's about getting that message out there to consumers so they know they gotta really look at the grower. They gotta know who they're buying their shit from. Because the government, the industry isn't protecting them, isn't keeping them safe and making sure they're getting good product. It doesn't give a fuck. The industry only cares about the money. So they gotta look out for themselves. A lot of people don't have time for that, so that's kind of the way I promote myself on social media is I'm like, I'm doing that homework for you. Because I do go to these facilities. I tour them, I check them out, I look at their documentation, I meet their teams. I know they're growing it right. I know they're putting fire on the market. I've done that homework. So to me, that's what everybody needs to do in this industry. And I wish everybody had the time.
Yeah.
Because when you go in and you buy blind, majority of the time, you end up getting fucked. Right?
A lot of people wind up unhappy, and it falls back a lot too on a lot of these dispensaries too, like the backlash with the uneducated stuff, and it's not even the fault of that, it's just the fault of the lack of education in this. As you were saying, like way earlier, we are too early into legalization to be going with, like they're looking at CRISPR technology now for weed, right, and stuff, and it's like, we still haven't officially made it so that all this stuff is consecutively good time after time after time. If we're still making these big fuck ups, why are we trying to make,
Take the next steps, right?
it's like how
Figure out the first
celebrities get the good cocaine, we get the fentanyl shit. Like it's designer cannabis, that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It's too early for that.
Right?
When we're still technically in the stages of prohibition, when we have so many illegal dispensaries and stuff still, that's prohibition, guys. You paint it whatever color you want.
Well, they gotta, if they want the legal industry to succeed in any way, they have to start cracking down on those illegal shops.
Yeah.
They can't allow them to survive. And I've got no problem with indigenous shops on indigenous land,
Yeah.
but they can't be in the cities.
And don't be
and
mixing.
illegal shops can't be anywhere. If you don't have a license to sell, these guys that are opening their own cannabis shops,
Mhm.
they're paying to do that. They're paying for those licenses. They're paying those taxes and those fees, and it's super expensive for them.
Yeah, fucking rights it is.
And it's not fair for an illegal shop to open up without paying any of those fees or paying any of those taxes, and be allowed to be there.
Yeah.
Like as I said earlier, I stepped away from tattooing to do this, took a big pay cut and shit too, and it's like, my original intent was like, well, back in the day I was working at like one of the big dispensaries out in Vancouver and all that kind of shit, and it's like, I know what I'm doing, maybe I could open a shop. And then I looked into the overhead of everything.
Right.
Even before employees, if it was just me in there,
Yeah.
every fucking day, grinding my ass off. It was too much in the long run. I would much rather.
And
found
that's why I
teams
see a
that
lot of that. That's why I see a lot of guys running their own shops. They're in there every day.
And then on top of that was finding the right dispensary, because there's my personal experience going in and not telling people that I work for another dispensary, just shopping as a customer.
Yeah.
Some of these people don't even fucking partake.
I know.
And it's like, so what are you doing? What are you doing here?
Yeah, there are people that sell in like positions like mine for brands that don't smoke.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's there is a space for everyone. I think it happens in the alcohol industry too. I'm sure there's people that go and sell alcohol to the stores that don't drink, and things like that, and that's fine.
But at least know what
you're
you're
not
selling.
going to be as effective.
At least know what you're selling. I find a lot of these people that don't partake, they have to like refer to their green line and shit like that. And it's like, dude, if you can't even tell me like what's in your bin behind you, like that's a problem. At least have an idea.
Yeah.
Look at your product when you come in the morning. Be like, oh, this is what I have. I go through my drawers every morning. It's not hard. It's a 10-minute process.
Yeah, and I think the trick for stores is they gotta kind of have a little bit of both sides of it. They've gotta look at the numbers side to some degree, and they've gotta look at that, where they're making their money and how they're paying for their overheads and all that kind of aspect, but they also have to look at the quality of the products they're carrying, because that's going to establish long-term success of no shelf.
Also knowing
quality
what
that
your
they
clientele wants, because I've learned different areas of the city, let alone different cities, different areas of the city have different
And
flavor tastes.
most
different levels.
clientele don't know what they want, they just think they know.
And it's just been pushed by whatever the local dispensary's been selling. And if these people don't know what they're selling, this is what's fucking the industry.
Yeah.
Right? And that's 100% one of the points that I always make, is that the top selling products in this market are not the best products.
No.
They are the products that have been paid
fucking
to be
pre-rolls.
promoted in
Yeah.
stores. They've been paid to be promoted in stores, and that's why they're top selling products, because people listen to what's told them. The consumers in this industry were fooled right from the start to shop by the numbers, and they're still fucking doing it today. And they need to learn that that's the government, or not the government, but big business and big corporations' way of controlling what they buy.
We
Because
were
they
lucky.
just put bigger numbers to fucking get them to buy the products.
We were lucky they didn't allow the whole celebrity branding, because I feel that would have even hurt things more, because people would have just been like, oh, Ryan Reynolds, his face is on this bag, or oh, so and so is on this. I almost said Ryan Reynolds, first Canadian that
Right.
popped up, right?
Yeah. I wish you could do a cannabis brand. That'd be hilarious, man.
Call it like Deadpool Kush or something, we all know it's his.
Deadpool's Marvel, so
It's still
Oh, fuck, go right back to,
Star Walker Kush, like we had all these like
you had to call it like Dead OG or something like that.
when all those Star Wars strains came out, I was hoping one of them was gonna be good. And it was, oh crap.
Right? It all depends on the
I think I
grower.
remember a strain Skywalker OG or something like that.
That's another thing too, like with me when I backpacked for many years, I was a freight hopper for many years. So I crossed this country very quickly
Nice.
from time to time.
Yeah.
And when I quit using, because I was an addict, heavy addict, heroin, crystal meth, all this shit. Sober for 17 years, cannabis is what helped me, which is why I promote this shit so fucking much.
Right.
Exactly.
You have to replace a crutch with a crutch. You can't just get rid of a crutch and expect your life to be good. I'm sorry. If you can, all to you, you're Superman. But most people, we're humans, we're not machines. But I learned, like, an OG Kush here is not an OG Kush. One province over.
Right? Even here, you can go to the store and buy fucking 5 different OG Kushes, and they're all gonna fucking hit you different. They're all gonna have different impact, different taste, different smell, different impact, different
Which
everything.
is why we shouldn't,
Because too many variations in the growers.
and that's just it, because we're too early into the stages of this. Everyone's still competing too much with each other.
Right.
Where, it's, I don't know, do like, say for example, people that make cans, do different can producers really compete, or they just make their product and sell to whoever wants to buy?
Yeah, right. And so it's whoever so it's very different for like a manufactured item like that, because then it's basically whoever makes the best product for the best price is what's going to sell, and what will always sell.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just so much more to cannabis. It's it's so much more individualized. Like each person, it's not like not everybody's gonna love a great strain that was grown properly that I love.
True.
Right? I love Fishy Fingers from 67 cents. I think it's one of the most unique profiles in this industry. It's got the,
And that's
the
the
savory
one-
meatiness and then the fishiness. It's like surf and turf and a nug,
Where
But
I
it's
was
so
more Ricky
unique.
Bobby.
right?
I like the Ricky Bobby.
Okay.
And people
So-
that liked the Fishy Fingers didn't like the Ricky Bobby, so I
And there are people that would look at Fishy Fingers and be like, oh, I don't really like that fish tone underneath, or they
It was
don't like a
very
certain
unique,
aspect of it.
very
And that's
unique.
okay. Like that's something that will always be there within the industry. But what people need to realize is it's way different when you're talking about some of the products in this market that are full of mold and bacteria. You're
Yeah.
not just smoking something that, that guy doesn't like because it doesn't taste great. You're smoking something that's full of fucking mold.
Yeah.
That's sterilized, so it's neutralized mold, but they can't remove it from the fucking nut. And now there are a ton of companies that are growing just barely passing and then packaging their bud, putting it on the shelf, and it's growing mold on the shelf.
I was
and then people
reading
buy it,
something
okay?
about that,
Lots
yeah.
of, and one of the things I don't ever want to do in this industry is throw anybody under the bus. I don't want to name the brands that do it wrong. It's a personal thing for me because I've over the years that I've worked in this industry, I've made a lot of friends, and a lot of my friends work for brands.
We all kind of
These
seem to know
products,
each other,
right?
It's
Yeah.
a
So
very
I don't
small
want
community.
to directly, throw any names under the bus or anything like that, and I try to avoid doing that. So that's why I kind of structured it the way I have, so that I can say the majority, and it is the majority of producers are doing these shitty fucking things, and these ones that I've investigated already.
Mhm.
This is so far I've got 3 for you that I know aren't doing any of those shortcuts, not irradiating any of their flour, not putting out anything moldy, because these guys give a fuck about the long-term success of their brand, their long-term reputation. These big companies don't give a fuck. It's all money for them. And
Yeah.
if that brand fucking fails, they just have another one to their fucking 12 under the umbrella, right? So
we have mentioned remediation and stuff a lot. For those who don't know what it is, can you describe that in a simplistic
Yeah,
way?
so that's the beauty of kind of the way I like to try to approach it, is I want to make it easy for everybody
Because,
to understand.
I was gonna describe what it was, but then every time I read how I typed it out and shit, I'm like, who am I, Webster's?
Right?
So I'll just
It's hard. It's hard to figure out exactly. And so remediation is a general term that means to fix something that's broken.
Yes.
Basically. If your basement gets flooded, you get a remediation team in there to dry it out and take out all the moldy shit and clean it all up for you. That's remediation. So in cannabis, Health Canada has set limits for mold and bacteria. You're not allowed to go above a certain level.
I still feel they're not set low enough.
So I think they're set all right, but I think that there's mold and bacteria in everything. And I think that if brands are getting close to the cusp, they should take it on themselves to say, we're a little too tight and maybe we should just fucking irradiate our shit or whatever the fuck, I don't know. Where did I go here? Back me up. What was I
This
saying?
is the side effects of cannabis, everybody. That's why we show these
Short-term
things.
memory loss.
Yeah.
You were describing.
Irradiation, what it is. Remediation is very general. Irradiation is a form of remediation. So whenever a grower exceeds the limits for mold and bacteria, they can choose irradiation as one form of remediation. It's the most common way to do it. And they send it to a lab called Steris.
Mhm.
It's out in on the other side of Toronto. I'm not sure exactly where. I've been there a few times, but other side of Toronto, east side of Toronto, Scarborough area. But they basically pass the cannabis through waves of radiation on a belt that penetrate and kill all the mold and bacteria. There's a little bit of controversy over whether it actually degrades the terpenes and cannabinoids within the bud. And that's open to everybody's discussion. But what it absolutely does do is it kills the mold and bacteria within that bud and sterilizes that nug, so that company, even though they exceeded the mold limit, can still sell that bud now. The shittiest part of it is that bud is still full of that dead mold, and that's going to cause health problems down the road and all that good.
You
Wonderful
feel it.
stuff.
You can feel it instantly in your throat.
They're not telling the consumer.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we grew shitty cannabis and we had to irradiate. put a fucking thing on your bag that says,
Yes.
this cannabis was irradiated, and then let people make their own mind up. But to do it and not fucking tell them is complete bullshit, and that's kind of what sparked what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, because I think the people need to fucking know what these big companies are doing with their weed. It was a solution that came up with early in cannabis, early in legalization, because so much cannabis was grown that sucked. And the companies, rather than spend their money on improving their facility and the way they grow, they said, no, it's cheaper for us to irradiate, so we're gonna keep growing shitty cannabis and irradiating it. It's complete bullshit. And that's the hardest fucking thing to get out across the consumers for a rep, right? For somebody like me that goes to the shops, I have no platform with consumers unless I build it myself on social media. I don't know if you guys have seen my TikTok. I'm probably gonna lose it soon, but almost 6,000 followers. I had a post a few weeks ago with 150,000 views, almost 5,000 likes, where all I talked about was the bullshit numbers on the bag. There's a brand that put out a flower, straight flower, at 38% THC. Like, come the fuck on. If you don't see through that bullshit, when you gotta go home and smoke 3 fucking joints in a row,
Organically,
38% THC flower,
organically, the plant growing only holds what, roughly 29%?
right?
Top?
So I've always had, my thing was always, I would say 35% of that flower can be cannabinoids and terpenes and everything combined.
Yes.
The rest of it, you need structure for that plant, the stem, the leaves, all that has to have some structure. That's the majority of that plant. And I don't think you're gonna ever exceed 35% overall.
Fuck no.
No.
But, you know, we're seeing it. We're seeing good growers put out in the low 30s with like 5-6% terpenes. We're seeing good growers do it. So it is possible to get up there, but you're getting a really resiny plant there. You're getting a hash plant.
Yeah.
So when you smoke it, you gotta relight the fucking thing over and over. It's clogging up halfway through because it's so fucking gummy and so resiny.
Yep.
So
I agree.
once people realize that the sweet spot is in that fucking, for a guy like me that's been a heavy smoker for a long time, that sweet spot is in the mid-20s with a good terpene content and properly grown and cured. And that kind of shit. And I have never taken a tea break. In my entire fucking, I started smoking back in the early 90s, we'll say. And I've never taken a tea break, and I still get baked because I vary what I smoke.
Yeah.
Right? I always make sure I'm getting different cannabinoids, different terpenes into my system.
It's all
So
about
I
the
get a variety of
experience.
different smoke, and I always feel effect.
Yeah.
And it's, I'll agree. And it's, I find there's also an entourage effect I'm learning with cannabis. Now I don't know if that's just like placebo, like full-blown placebo, or if there is some kind of chemical component to it that.
So you want the tell for that, go try something like an edible or a beverage and try the difference between most of the edibles and beverages in this industry are made with distillate,
Yes.
which is the hot dog water of the industry. It's basically THC stripped down with chemicals and then cleaned up and put into something, straight THC. If you want the full spectrum effect, that entourage effect, you go for something that's live rosin or hash based.
Solventless.
Keep it something solventless, 100%, and something full spectrum.
Yes.
So look for something, live rosin. I love like some of the edibles in this market. There's some good ones out there if you look.
Live rosin hash gummies seem
Right?
like the only things that hit me at a 10
And that's the big difference you'll tell is, for a long time I was doing, like before legalization, I was doing black market gummies and stuff. And I was on average 120 milligrams per setting, and I do that 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah.
Because it was mostly distillate that I was consuming.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Once I realized the difference and I started buying the live rosin and the stuff that was full spectrum, 40, 50 milligrams, I'm getting the same effect.
Oh fuck yeah.
So I don't care if it costs me double, I'm consuming less of it to get higher. So it's a win-win.
Yep.
It's the same with the weed in this industry, the flower and everything. Spend a few more bucks for something fucking premium. And you don't have to smoke as much, and you're gonna get way fucking higher, way longer.
It was only actually, I'll admit, it was about 6 years ago that I realized if I change to a better grown, better treated, better cured, that I wasn't sitting there with 7, 8 joints at a time.
Right.
I was smoking my 1 joint to get high, and the 2 or 3 after that to keep
To
going,
go,
right?
sure. Maybe you didn't
Socially.
need them, but you wanted them because it was
Yeah.
so fucking
Well, see, like
good.
that was the thing is with me and cannabis was I don't I mean I do vape nicotine, but I can go days without this thing now. The weed is a very like almost like a tobacco was to me years ago.
Right.
So that's why there is times I'll buy like lighter priced stuff that I know is still good. Like right here, I know this is the purple octane,
Right.
but not at a purple octane price.
That is phenomenal.
And-
That is one of the best products on the market right now to break that stigma with everybody buying the lowest priced products on the shelf. That product comes in around the same price point and the quality is 100 times
That's
better.
what I'm sitting here smoking the whole time. It's fucking.
Right.
I like the octane. I've been stuck on it. Like I was into the Frosty Flakes for a long time by Low Key,
Okay.
and then all of a sudden, Low Key just it was up and down, and now they're like selling internationally. I'm like, how'd this happen? Like you guys needed to fix what you were doing local first, and then we bought 2 bags of the Frosty Flakes, 2 bags of Black Larry, and they look the same. Kind of smoke the same, and I wasn't too sure. I say that quietly because I don't, but it's, so I wasn't too sure what was going on there. And I was very confused. And that's when I started to really realize that there is some companies too that are like bigger and better that are now starting to cut corners, for lack of better words.
So I feel like the death of almost every craft company in this industry is when they start to get bigger.
Mhm.
Right? Once they start to grow, it's like the quality always falls off. The quality they're never consistent, and they end up dying.
They need to grow with the right people that still care.
Well, it's the biggest mistake that they're making is a lot of these companies, once they start to grow, is they go into a bigger facility, bigger grow space.
Right.
That's where things always go wrong. So to me, if you're a small craft company that's been growing a long time, you know what the fuck you're doing, stay within that space, that size. I'm not saying you can't expand and grow more weed, but your room size that you're comfortable with has to just multiply that, just get more rooms of that size. You know what I mean? Don't go to a bigger space because you're gonna get microclimates, you're gonna have a harder time controlling your weed, controlling that consistency, and
Why fix it if it isn't broken?
Exactly.
well, it's the growing part, right? Like when a brand starts getting successful in this industry, they have to produce more because the demand is higher, right?
But I see that's what I get is it's like when put into perspective when people are buying a house. You have a kids now we gotta get a bigger house, but they don't just get a bigger room. They buy a house that has an additional room around the same size as the other rooms.
Right?
So why should that change with other things, right? Like it just will make sense.
Well, that's the way they should go about it. So they should get more rooms of the size they're used to. But a lot of companies will end up buying a bigger facility with a bigger grow room that, they end up not being able to maintain.
Yeah.
So I hate to see it for companies. Even companies that don't do it, companies that I see so many little craft companies that did things right and they had great price points and they had great products on the shelves, but they couldn't succeed because they couldn't get the word out fast enough, they couldn't sell enough product off the hop. I'm alright with it.
This is my friend's he grew one plant. He just
That's homegrown?
Yeah.
That's really
I
good.
know, right?
Fuck.
He used proper balances of like nutrients and stuff like he was originally studying chemistry. He wanted to be like someone that did like pills and medicines and shit.
Right.
He didn't pass his university stuff. He became a junkie for a while, and then when he started sobering up, he started fucking around with cannabis stuff, and so he likes to grow one plant at a time. Tries to stretch his grows for as long as he can.
Yeah.
So he's like overstressing the plants and stuff,
Right.
But this was just like a lemon something, but it's
Okay.
like heavy lemon. He showed me all the nugs. Nice, small, tight, and we hung everything together.
Yeah.
Like it was, I'm not gonna say it's amazing, but it tastes
It tastes good.
It tastes good. It's not harsh.
Which is all you can ask for homegrown, man.
Mhm.
Fuck.
Like out of all the homegrowns I've had, that's probably the best tasting homegrown.
Yeah, that's beef. It's branded. So, pretty decent. Where are we here? I got some things written down because I'm bad at forgetting shit. Have you ever faced pressure to compromise your standards in order to scale or compete? How did you respond to that?
So,
Because we do know one of your social accounts has already been fucking cut.
yeah, and that's kind of stuff we have to expect working in this industry. I think that, you know, if we have the right impact, I think that as I start again on Instagram, I just changed so they took away my account. I was 13 shy of 5,000 followers.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Um,
What is your
great
account for
account.
people? Give a shout
So
out.
it's the exact same thing as my name, but I put Fabian.Scrick. So it's the exact same thing, just throw a dot in there.
There you go.
I'm on Instagram, I'm working on Twitter now and YouTube,
Yep.
trying to get those going. It's a little slower on those, of course, to get the word out, but
YouTube's not bad for shutting us down.
No.
TikTok wouldn't let us. Twitch wouldn't let
Oh
us.
yeah, TikTok hates weed.
Everything else that we tried pinched me on our first episode.
yeah,
The only ones that kept us was Instagram lets us post even when I'm doing my smoke reviews, and then YouTube as long as I click that it's not for kids, and Spotify because it's in like what Sweden or some shit like that.
Right.
Wherever it is. But other than that, yeah, I understand the trying to get the message out there, trying to have a conversation with people, and just being silenced for no reason.
Yeah.
so yeah, it's frustrating, and I think that yeah, we all just kind of have to accept it in this industry. I'm still waiting for a Canadian-made app. I know there's a few apps out there that are cannabis-focused and things like that, but I want one that's like Canadian and basically just like fucking Instagram. You can just go on, put reels, you can put fucking posts, you can do reviews.
Yeah, where's Weedstagram?
Right? Like something like that. And that'll come.
And don't make it paid. Come on, don't do that kind of Mark Zuckerberg shit or Elon or whatever it was. The green check mark. Here's your green pot leaf, people. You're officialized.
Yeah.
What policy changes would most benefit craft producers right now, and what role should they play in shaping these policies themselves? Like, if they got to partake in recreating it.
So I try to not get too much into the politics and policy and things like that. There are a lot of people that have very strong opinions about everything in this industry, and I think there are a ton of issues for every craft producer in all the regulations and the taxes and how hard it is for them to become successful. And like I said, I've seen some great craft companies fold in this industry, some companies that were putting out great weed and great price points, but they couldn't compete because of all those regulations and fees and so I think there's a ton there that has to happen in order to make this a feasible business for an individual to run. And it's got to start with all these fucking partnerships and data deals that happen with these big companies where these shitty producers are allowed to pay the company to promote their shitty products.
Yeah.
That should not be allowed within the industry. That to me is complete bullshit, and that's the only reason some of these big chains survive in this industry, because of these partnerships. So their whole existence within this industry is built around bullshit and lies. Because they've basically just been promoting the crap that they've been paid to promote. You know, and it sucks. It fucks the whole industry up. And if we want to see this industry get better, we need to support the stores that carry the good products, that are honest, that are done right, and we need to support growers that have their own little businesses and not these big companies and big corporations that pay all these fucking bullshit fees behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Oh, this one here. I'm bad at this stuff. I'm already way too stoned. I apologize. What are some of the most exciting phenotypes you're working with right now?
So I don't grow directly, right?
Yes, we understand. But like that you're promoting, things that you've come across.
Yeah.
In a way, what are, like,
There's-
even if you're not promoting, what is like some of the most exciting ones you've come across lately?
So there's the growers that I work with are always looking at new stuff and always trying out new stuff, and I always get a chance to try some of those things. And there's been stuff like like the banana mac that Steve from 67 Sins grew was fucking phenomenal. It was like smoking, and in the best way possible, it was like smoking fucking banana peels. It tasted so
Okay.
much like banana and smelled so much like banana within that bag that it just fucking fucked with your head, you know?
Yeah.
Just that it was that intense of a smell. It's like the black cherry soda from Unit 15.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
sativa, and when you crack that and you smell it, that is the most cherry smelling strain in this industry. And I love the lineage on it. The Black Dahlia crossed with Ace of Spades.
It's one of those
Fucking
strains that
gorgeous.
almost gives you like that tingly feeling on your lips and tongue.
Sure.
And you don't find those a lot. That really, really peppery strain.
I think it's one of very few sativas that are done right in this industry. I think a lot of the big companies struggle with sativas, mainly because they're a longer flower time, and you have to harvest before those trichomes go amber. Because if you're growing a sativa and you're allowing your trichomes to go amber or darker, you're just getting sativa with the sedative effect like an indica.
Yeah.
You're not going to have that uplifting feel that people want from a sativa. So that's why so many companies struggle in this industry to do it, because one, they're fucking not looking at the trichomes, and the other, they're just letting them go too long, or they're not fucking paying attention.
I find, what is it with indica too, there's like a CBZ that they've been talking about or something like that. And apparently that's like aging in indica in a sense. How are they doing that? I haven't really looked into it yet, so that's why it's...
Yeah, no, I haven't either. I haven't heard of the CBZ yet.
Okay. It was something that I was reading, I think I read it on StratCan or
So
something like that.
they'll keep naming more things and trying to say, oh, this does this, and this does this, and this does this. You know, I'm that guy. I want to see the proof. You tell me that CBG does this, or CBN does that, or CBC does this, or whatever the fuck.
Mhm.
I understand that that's what you feel it does for you.
Yeah.
But that might be different for what it does for that guy.
We need to see more studies.
Yeah,
Which is why like lit facilities in Toronto is a very fucking cool thing. I wish we had more of that.
Well, I'm super excited for that side of it, the study part of it, because I think that even raw cannabis in its raw form, non-carboxylated, non-intoxicating, has a ton of health benefits. And I think we're missing out when we're not looking at doing like cannabis salads or cannabis drinks like they do with kale and all that shit right now.
Yeah.
Cannabis is the next superfood. People just haven't fucking figured it out yet. And because the way the fucking industry is and the prices are, there's no way
We
you
did
can do
figure
it
it
where
once
you make
upon a
profit.
time. We did figure it once upon a time, and then we had, things like the cotton gin, the war against drugs, we had the anti-war movement, turning hippies into criminals, and
Cannabis in the
before
closet
that,
for a long time.
Cannabis
you know?
was in the good and
Right.
wasn't illegal once upon a
It was in
time.
a lot of medicines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I feel like it's also that people just go too far with shit. People just abuse things. Like cocaine used to be fucking medicinal. And, we don't use that medicinal at all. Yeah. Like there's just, as you were saying earlier, moderation, buying proper things in moderation, you're gonna feel it better. You're not gonna be out there just fistfuls of stuff.
Yeah.
What's your current opinion on regulatory rules for small producers? Do you think there's enough leeway for them? Do you think there's not enough?
I think they make it super hard for them. I know that that's basically all I work with, 67 Sins, Unit 15, Frost Cannabis. They're all micro producers. They're all very small craft. And it's not easy for them. They need their product to move. And it's when companies like this survive in this industry, the only way they survive is by getting that word out there, and consumers wanting their product. And that's what I'm finding, and it's one of the things that really keeps pushing me to keep going, is I'm hearing from a lot of the retailers that I go into that people are coming in and showing them my videos and saying, I want what this guy's talking about. Because they're learning that, a lot of the infused shit in this market is just shitty weed hidden behind fake flavors. There's too many big companies that you can't trust the products they're putting out. You need to do the homework, you need to look at the grower, and you need to support the companies that are doing it right, and that's how we fix this industry. If we keep going the way we're going, if we keep supporting the companies that are paying for the partnerships, the big corporations, the companies putting shitty weed on this market at cheap prices. If we keep supporting those companies, this industry will become dominated by those products,
Mhm.
and the real smokers will not go to legal shops and buy weed anymore, because it's going to be a tourist industry. It's going to be for the people that are like, oh, weed's legal in Canada, let's go there and go to the shop that
We'll be
they don't realize sells all fucking really shitty weed.
We're already becoming the New Amsterdam. Honestly, my personal opinion from working before legalization in like, you know, biker shops and stuff
Well-
like that, and working now, we're already become the travel place. We get so many students personally because I work
And that's
downtown
what
here,
opens up a
college.
ton of opportunity too, and people gotta start looking at that, because I think I see wine tours, I see
Yeah.
beer brewery tours, I see all kinds, let's do some fucking cannabis tours, people, where are
Yes.
they?
Yes.
I'll sign up, I'd pay to go on a cannabis tour,
Oh, fuck
get me
yeah.
on a bus, we go to a fucking facility, we check out the grow, we go have a barbecue, smoke a bunch of weed, go check out another grow, fucking drop me back off.
Yeah.
I'm down. There's a business, why aren't there fucking 100 people doing that?
Yeah.
Because we're not allowed to. I mean,
I know this
There'll be
company.
ways,
look at what's
there's liabilities, the insurance are gonna be.
I know this company. I think it's in Las Vegas or something like that, where they do it like every 420. They get this big freaking bus and they take you to a bunch of grow places where they show you how to make shatter, hash.
Right, yeah.
They feed you weed all freaking day.
Yeah. Nice, right?
Like, I want something like that in town.
Mm-hmm. You know, we're getting closer to getting lounges and stuff
Oh
like
yeah.
that. What I want to see is weed at festivals and like music events and things like that. So if I lived down in Norfolk County, I went to Simcoe last year and I saw 5440. I know the guy, great
Oh,
band,
fuck
loved him
yeah.
back in the day, Ocean Pearl, fucking, a lot of great tunes. But you sit there and you're fucking looking at the stage, and off to the left, there's all these beer tents, and you gotta go through the check area, and you know, you got your ID or whatever, and you buy your tickets and you get your booze. Well, the other side's totally fucking empty. And I'm like, fucking, that should be fucking craft cannabis over there. That should be, I got ID to go in, it's age gated, just like the alcohol side. You walk in, you buy some tickets, and you go, and you pick the break, you wanna buy some pre-rolls from.
Speaking of, I don't remember if it's all of Alberta or if it was just Calgary that I was reading, but for their music events and shit like that, they just got the pass to have sales tents at all age events, as long as it's not smoked in the
Where was
same
this?
spot. Calgary.
Okay, yeah. So Alberta's ahead of us on
Oh,
fucking
everything.
right? We're
Ontario's
so
the
fucking
last.
slow here, dude.
Yeah.
They took their fucking coverings off the window. It took us almost a fucking year before we were allowed to
Oh
take
yeah,
that here.
I know. It was my
Right?
dumbass sitting there scraping that shit off. So
Oh,
like,
fuck,
fuck you,
man.
Ford. It
We're
took
so
too
far
long.
behind on everything. We gotta get ahead of the ball, and we gotta fucking, you know,
Well, we got
fucking
so
start
many
making our own
growers.
regulations over here.
Yeah, we got so many good growers that are blowing BC out of the water, and trust me, I was a BC boy for years. Swore by BC weed. But now we got like, and then I was like, oh, Quebec had so much good stuff, but now it's like Ontario. There's so many good little fucking hidden gems, and people just know where to look.
You gotta know that the notion that the best weed came from BC, it was very well founded back in the day. A lot of shit was grown outdoors, and they had the best
Yes.
climate for it.
That's
So
just
they
it.
were producing the best
The
fucking
mist
weed.
of the mountains and the
Now,
ocean
the
water.
majority of flowers grown indoors, and great producers can be in any fucking province.
Yes.
I've seen great weed coming out of the fucking east, all over the fucking place, all over the west, BC, Alberta, everything. I've seen some phenomenal
Buddy
fucking
brought some down from
products.
fucking Dawson City. They grew up where it's always fucking snowing.
Right?
You know what I mean? And it was
Everything's fucking doing indoor
phenomenal.
now, so like, where you're growing doesn't fucking matter. It just matters on the scale and the quality of your product.
Exactly.
Right?
Well,
And
you
your
know-
price point. You don't want to be overpriced, because
Yes.
then you're fucked.
Well, speaking of good weed, we got our cultivar of the week. You want to hold that up?
Sure
Crack
thing.
that open. We'll grind some of that up. I didn't grind any of that up right away because I wanted the aroma experience to be described and such as we always do.
Haven't tried frost cannabis yet.
So today we get to experience a true connoisseur's bud for a buddy. The Frost Canvas rotating strain Sherbgotti this time around. The terpenes are nice 2.2, caryophyllene, limonene, and myrcene, if I'm ever pronouncing these correctly, being the top three in there. And as we've been saying before, you're thinking, oh, this is gonna be huge in numbers and shit. It's a 21.1%. but
Yeah.
kicks fucking ass. I
Right.
did crack it last night and smoked a joint.
So this is one of my favorite things about Frost Cannabis is their honest fucking numbers on the bag.
Grand Smoke.
You will find the majority of the products are going to hit in that mid-20s range and knock you on your ass.
It
Hit
does.
way better
Look
than
at
most
this
of the
bud.
30s out
So
there.
describe that right there.
Gorgeous purple hues, orange trichomes. Just a gorgeous bud in general.
Like I'm getting gassy hints. It's almost like a mango,
Yeah.
right? I feel like that's mango in there.
Mm-hmm. I get a little bit of mango.
Or something tropical. The buds are definitely medium to dark. Very sexy, as I was saying, orange pistils sticking out of that. Look
Lots
at
of
them.
orange pistils.
And it looks like it was rolled in snow,
Haven't seen a bud like that in a while.
right? So when I was smoking that,
It's nice too. It's a nice big nug, eh?
oh yeah, all 3 bags that I bought, they were all like that.
Nice.
Yeah, so grind that big ass nug up and we'll all pick off of that. Smoking it last night through a joint and then through this little thing, my double barrel pipe. My kid got me that.
Nice.
He brought it to me over, he's like, got you a present, Dad. I love you. It was definitely a bold taste, like really bold. What were my notes that I wrote down? You can tell it's been cured nicely. It's fluffy but dense, you know. Subtle musk to it, and then, as we've been saying, fruity undertones. It was a white ash.
Right
White
there
ash.
it is.
Yeah. See, as we were saying, you get the experience when you grind it up. You open it up, and it's. Here, we need to make a scoop too for this one, because we all know the 1 to 10 rule. I've been preaching that to people as well. I've been teaching a lot of my customers that come in. I'm like, do you know the 1 to 10 rule? They're like, no, what's that? I'm like, every time you touch cannabis, you're losing 1/10 of the trichomes.
I just taught Lisa that rule.
That is something that I have seen studied with like people in their like microscopes and shit.
Right.
So it's something I'm like, okay, that's something I will preach.
I think
Right.
everybody that smokes in this industry, everybody that smokes, whether you're a consumer, whether you work in the industry, anything, you should fucking invest in a scope.
Oh hell yeah.
Just to fucking take a look at what you're smoking before you smoke.
That's why I like the sensory jars at work.
Yeah,
got
little
little-
magnifiers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It, does, it
it's
still
when I go
doesn't
around
give
the
the full
stores.
experience. I wish we could let people feel it, you know? It would be a little, it's just that the tangible side, right? People like the sensory shit.
Right? And they got it in the States, they got deli style cannabis shops.
That's what we were doing.
That's what would be fucking beautiful here. So I lived in Amsterdam for about 1.5 years.
No shit, where?
I lived in Zwolle, which is a little town about an hour from Amsterdam. And I worked in a town called Herendeen,
Cool.
where I taught English
Really?
to college and university students. I
Shit.
stayed there for about 1.5 years, and every day after work, I would hop a train half an hour back to my city, and I would walk down the street to a coffee shop. I would go in, I would pick whatever fucking strain I hadn't tried yet, sit at the bar, shoot the shit with the people,
because they don't.
fucking
Is it the
roll
damn
it up
creme?
and fucking smoke it. What's that?
Is it the damn creme?
The name of the coffee shop?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. There's so many coffee shops.
There's one that I specifically want to go to.
Oh yeah.
I've been looking at all the different shops there.
Okay.
So this is my question, because they call them coffee shops, right? So I'm assuming they actually do sell like the coffee and all that
It's
shit.
infused coffee, man.
Some of them do like coffees and desserts and things like that.
So most of it's cannabis.
But yeah, that's just what they call their
The
cannabis
place I
shops.
want to visit,
I still
they
want to-
infuse. They have an entire infused menu, right down
So much
from
fun, dude.
pizza to rib sauce to like baked goods. It's all infused, and then they also smoke lounge and stuff too, right?
Yeah.
But they bring it out to you on like these fake gold trays, just like pre-sanitized bong and stuff.
Right.
It's super like yuppie and stuff. But it's like I want to experience that once. Right? I keep hearing this white privilege. I want to experience some white privilege. That's mine right there.
I want to be able to have like a shop down the street that I can walk down to, go in. He's got the big fucking jars lined up along the fucking wall. Oh, that one's new. Let me check it out. Fucking get a little
Oh, yeah.
checked out. Okay, yeah, give me like a fucking ounce of that or whatever. Fuck, right? And he bags it up, weighs it right there. That's how we fucking eliminate the big packaging issues in this industry. all the fucking cost for producers on packaging. I got a producer that, you guys know now that they allow windows on packaging.
Yes,
Right?
we have
Seen some of the
actually
brands
talked
with
about
windows. One of the producers I work with looked into it, and it almost quadrupled the price of his packaging. So it went from
Isn't
paying
that fucking
about,
ridiculous?
for example, 50 cents a package to something with a window for $2 a package.
Yo.
And if you do that, then you've got to up your prices to cover the cost of your packaging.
And it can't be a completely clear jar, and if it is, it has to be like wrapped or something. Isn't that ridiculous? Like that last jar that I had.
Yeah.
That really good shit.
Yeah.
Completely clear jar, but they still can't pass it unless most of the jar is covered. Like, so you're looking at the
Right.
bottom, so you're looking at all the dust. How do you experience that?
Yeah, it's silly, and it's packaging altogether is such a fucking waste. If you walk outside any cannabis shop, you see packaging all over the ground.
That's what I
People
hate
buy
about these
tube.
pre-rolls, man.
Yeah.
What I fucking do, they pop it out of the tube, they throw the tube on the ground. Like, people are ignorant that way, but like, if we can eliminate that, like, why the fuck do they even need the tube then?
We got the
Right.
recycling
Let
bins
them
at my
open it.
work. I
Oh,
preach this to everybody.
I keep my tubes.
Yeah.
They always come in handy.
Yeah, me too.
So,
I
when
got
I-
boxes of them for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait, you should
I'll
still
never use them all.
fishing tackle and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Perfect for.
Yeah.
Now, the first place I ever, well, the first few places I worked as a bud tender in the cannabis industry was before legalization. We would have cardboard boxes with big white sanitized bags, right? Like the sterile bags.
Yeah.
And they were filled with different flour. We'd be sitting there smoking weed behind like bulletproof glass. No, it was a rough area in Vancouver.
Yeah.
But we'd be smoking a joint, they come up, tell us what they want, we could pull stuff around, hand them a nug so they could touch a nug
Yeah,
and experience it. And it was like, you know, it was a very different time. That's what I feared with legalization. I was like, maybe we could decriminalize it and have legal shops.
Right? That's why I worked in Amsterdam for so long. Because it was not legal in Amsterdam, it was just decriminalized, right?
Yeah, don't you also have to be a citizen to partake?
They've recently changed the rules,
I
yeah,
know
I'm not
that.
sure how long ago that was. I lived there in like 2000 to 2003. I went to the
About 10 years ago.
2003 High Times Cannabis Cup. I was there, I had a judge's pass.
Fuck
Fucking sweet dude,
Yeah.
man. It was like $200 Canadian, and you got like every shop you went to, and there were like 25 shops enrolled. You get like a gram of their fucking entry cannabis. You get like a pipe or a T-shirt or a hat or something like that. So it pass paid for itself, and then you got access to all the fucking shit that went on. Fucking yeah, great time, awesome music events at night and all that shit. Blast.
I missed the 420 events in Vancouver. Same thing.
Yeah, I want to see those here now. Like, why can't we do it?
We went to Toronto. We spent all of our money going out there this last time.
Oh, speaking of that,
was weird.
the guy in the Jester's hat,
Yes.
his video on YouTube is now available in our country. It wasn't available in our country before.
But they.
Funny enough, he left about a minute after he talked to you.
Yeah, I know. I know. We took a little video together and then he went back to like Michigan or something.
He went outside, he sat outside and watched everyone leave.
Yeah, it's I bump into everybody weirdly. It's like I walked away from tattooing to do this,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it's like, without even trying, I'm running into like all these different names, and not realizing
Yeah.
who I'm meeting too, which is cool because I don't get like dumbfounded celebrities.
Yeah,
There's
and
just
I
people like
looked
you
him
and
up
I. are.
on Twitch. He's big.
Because I want to spread this message. My thing is about not just cannabis; it's about the community in it. That's why I've had people like that are welders. I've had students come on that are like studying things. Like
Yeah.
I want to get a police officer on that's worked before legalization
Yeah.
and now.
And may I add, the only reason why I brought up the Jester guy is because when you gave him the card, he put the card right up to his camera.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's-
all his
it's all
like
about
thousands
networking.
of viewers that he had now got exposed to our podcast.
That's cool. Thank you. We forget your name. Something the Jester.
Something Jester.
I'll find it and post it in the show notes.
Yeah.
But we went to what was it, the Princess Hall Music Hall or something like that.
Yeah.
And they advertised this big thing, come have a whole bunch of samples, there's gonna be a big smoke out, watch the first like bit of the Cheech and Chong movie that was coming out.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was no big smoke out indoors like they were saying there was gonna be and stuff. he doesn't have his budtender's license, but they said if you show up with a budtender, you could piggyback off him.
Right?
Yep, so now you get all the
He got like a
samples.
third of the samples, and he's like, "Look, we're trying to do a podcast, so it's like we're trying to promote you guys." Like, there was a few companies which we won't mention names, right? But it was like a few of the reps there too didn't understand stuff, and I just felt they took money from everybody and then gave nothing.
Yeah.
It was a room like this, maybe 12 of these.
Yep.
So it was hard, but I mean, at the same time, I did get to meet a bunch of reps, which was cool, got to ask a few questions.
And don't get me started.
That's how I got introduced to Unit 15, was
Nice.
just before we showed up, we got the stuff in on my work. I picked up some of the purple octane, I cracked it on the fucking tray, and I was like, holy fuck.
Everybody's heads turned.
All those fucking pre-rolls I got from that freaking place, they were all incredible. All those experimental, unreleased
Amazing
pre-rolls.
pre-roll stuff, yeah, that people had going on. I don't know why some of these things don't hit the
Hell,
market.
but I made up for my samples. I went over to where all those little brochures were.
I know.
I grabbed like 8 of those fucking things.
But
They
it
all had
was,
dime bags in them.
Yeah.
it was
That's the thing that sucks the most about our industry is that as much as I have my goods and bads about OCS and what they do.
Yeah.
I
I
agree.
think that OCS is a company that without them, the small companies wouldn't have had a chance in surviving, I don't think. But at the same time, fuck, I lost my train of thought again. See, I'm getting too fucking bait.
I'm really fucking stoned.
It's smoking in here, I love it.
If I want some smoking straight green,
There you go.
usually I put tobacco in with it.
Oh, yeah,
Just straight
that's something they
fucking
did. That's
sin.
something they did a lot in Amsterdam, and people would look at me like I was crazy in the coffee shops when I was just rolling straight, and they're like, "You're not putting any tobacco in there? What the fuck are you doing?"
I don't like the disassociation.
Like a
that you get
5
with the
second
brain cells.
dissociation.
Yeah, microsecond. I know it's only microsecond, but that's what makes you drool. And it's like, I don't want to risk it.
I
If
only,
do that
I
stuff-
only do it because it's like a 1-2 combo for me. I get my nicotine and my stone at the same
And
time.
even what people call poppers here ain't a popper, like, right? I grew up in like central Ontario when I was really young, right, like Peterborough.
Yeah.
But our poppers were, we had a certain stem, and the tobacco went in with the paper. We'd put a little bit of weed, pack it with keef, and then you had to put a chunk of hash in there because when the hash hit the water, it would go, and it would pop,
Like a bullet. Those are bullets.
right?
Yeah.
So that's what I knew as poppers. What I see people doing here, I knew as yachties.
We call them old schools.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm too old for this shit now, and I'm only like what 37. Yeah.
Technically, it's
I've never liked mixing tobacco with my weed. I smoked cigarettes easily a pack a day for about 30 years. I just quit this year, January.
Right on.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I use CBD to do it.
Huh.
See?
So I didn't exchange one for one or
I'll
anything. But I
actually pass it
carried
on to my
CBD
roommate.
joints with me. I'd roll 10 CBD joints, put them in a little pack and throw them in my pocket. I'd go through my day, and when things got really, like I was fucking wanted a cigarette really bad, I would go and smoke a CBD joint.
I like the whole hemp.
Right.
That stuff was
There you go.
decent.
So that would be just enough to take that edge off, to calm me down, and then I would go back to whatever I was doing and fucking, if I got the bad cravings again, I would do it again. And I would do that 2 or 3 times through the day. And then in the evening I'm home and I'd just be smoking my weed anyways, and I'd forget about the fucking tobacco. And I managed to fucking kick it just by doing that, so.
I'm gonna have to pass that on to my old roommate. She's really trying to quit smoking in a house that's full of smokers.
Right? That makes it tougher.
Yeah.
You gotta get away from it, you can't be exposed to it all the time, right?
You can't heal where you've been hurt. I tell people.
Exactly.
I spent a lot of time working in factories,
Her mom-
and that's what we
her
did at
mom's-
break time. Go outside, have a smoke, come back in, go back to work.
Flat top roofer.
Lunchtime, go out, have 3 smokes, come back in, go back to work.
Oh, I missed you roofing.
How do you define the soul of a strain? Is it like the genetics, the grower's touch, the environment it's cultivated in?
There's a lot to it. It starts with the genetics, of course. You wanna get the best genetics you can, from a reputable company. And then it's all about the grower and the phenotyping that goes into it and how much he cares about what he's putting into it and how much love he puts into growing it, right?
Yeah.
I think that those aren't areas like the genetics, the good growing to a degree. I think there's a lot of the bigger companies that can grow it well. They've got people that know how to grow. But where they fuck it all up is in the post process,
Yes.
right? Because they're either harvesting it at the wrong time and not allowing their growers to determine when it's ready to harvest, but they're going on a schedule, and then they're machining most of their shit. They got fucking machines that'll just grab the stem and rip it through, and fucking all the buds go flying off.
I've
It's
seen
the
that
tote.
stuff.
And then they send them through these metal
Yeah,
drums with little fucking knives everywhere that
Speaking
fucking
of,
cut all the little leaves off and tumble them all around.
Right, we're not making hemp clothing right now. We're
Like it's
cultivating
just
cannabis.
it's common sense, but it's so much faster for these people to do it this way, and the consumers are so uneducated about it that it doesn't matter.
speaking of like automatic trimmers and stuff like that, I want your opinion on these style trimmers.
This is for like personal use.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're like knock all the buds off the stems and all that shit.
Right.
I still think
Yeah.
you can
Like
cultivate
it's gonna knock your trichomes off.
Yeah.
To me,
You're losing it on the glass and stuff.
I've seen people like trying to sell these. They're all gummed up with shit.
yeah. Right. That's most of your trichomes.
Personally, I just
All
stick
over.
to hand
Hand trimming
doing it.
is the way to go.
Throw a
but-
pair of gloves on.
But it's doing
trim
that
away.
properly as well.
Yeah.
Right? Like overhandling and all that shit. They should be holding the nug and fucking trimming off and then cutting off the bud and trimming.
We were told
cutting off the
We
bud.
were told you can
No
only touch
handling.
the nug 3 times.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, and that's it. You better be done trimming. That's what a proper like coach was teaching us.
Yeah.
And that's when I also learned like the 110 rule and all that stuff.
At this point, I don't even grow anymore.
Yeah.
I live in an apartment now, so
Well, I could never grow the kind of quality that these kind of growers
Exactly.
putting on the table right now.
I grow to
So-
watch it. Eventually, I'm gonna turn a plant into like one of those bonsai cannabis looking things.
Oh, that'd be
Those are really
cool.
neat. I want to try and grow one out of a potato. I like what Eggs Canada does in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Germinates in eggshells and stuff like that. What would your dream strain be?
Oh, you know what? Like I miss some of the old, really cheesy, skunky shit that
yeah.
we used to get back in the 90s and shit.
Well, I just had a cheese strain
Yeah.
not long ago. What was that? What was it? UK cheddar cheese.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was.
Ross in there. One of the ones I had a while back, UK cheese #1, was fucking one of the cheesiest smelling strains I've ever found.
Yeah.
And I find bud now that's got like cheese, but you know, it's cheese. It's not cheese.
Yeah.
I want fucking cheese. I want skunk.
It's cheesy, but it's not
I'm
Swissy.
finding.
Yeah.
So to me, purple octane is a great example of fucking dank.
Yes.
That is a super
I
dank
will
bud
agree
on the
there.
nose. And you know, and it fucking hits. It's wonderful.
I've never had
But-
to take a tea break off the octane. I've never had to switch
Yeah.
from the octane to something else to stay getting that same consistent high.
Excellent. I want the skunk. I want someone to put out something that's super fucking skunky.
Gas face. It's pretty gaseous too.
So gas, I love gas face. I think it's a fucking awesome all day smoke. I'll pick up a fucking half ounce of that on the weekend, fucking all day long, fucking. But to me, it's more the sweet and the cakey, a little bit mint in there.
Okay.
I get less gas from it, but it's super fucking potent and it keeps me fucking high all fucking
Yeah.
day. That's what I smoked actually a couple of weekends ago. I built a deck in my backyard. I don't know if you guys saw that post. I did a 16-foot by 16-foot deck
Yeah.
by myself in like a fucking day and a half.
I've been
And
watching.
I'm I'm turning 50 this year, man, and I couldn't have done it without the fucking weed. The good fucking, the gas face,
Right?
right?
Your profile couldn't be more enjoyable. You know, like this video you're in the woods and you're like, they're coming after me. You're like ducking behind trees and shit. I fucking love this. Like,
So that I did that, it popped in my head right after they took my account because
Yeah.
I talk a lot about like the big business and the corporate companies in this industry, how they're growing shitty fucking weed. I'm brutally honest about it. And to me, there's people out there that don't like to hear that, and they're fucking reporting me, and that's why my account gets taken down.
Sure.
So that I was just like, fucking, let me just fucking run with that and play with it. And I'm like, fucking, why not? I should actually take it further. I should fucking.
You should.
Almost every video, I should be hiding behind a car or something.
I mean, for a
I'm all
while,
paranoid or
Right.
something.
as a
You're after
joke,
me again, man.
as a joke in the earlier episodes, I ordered an alien mask. I called myself Zorlok, and people were like, "Oh, we want to see more of that." In the comments, right? So I tried wearing this big like latex mask for a while and had a big backstory, and it just became way too much.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers trying to smoke out the freaking thing.
Yeah, we lost like 4 viewers in our numbers because I didn't bring the alien back.
Maybe one day Zorlak will return.
It's the hardest thing, man. It's fucking, getting something to take off on fucking YouTube or fucking anything like that. Like,
This every time people come in that do watch this, like I have people that come in my work that love watching this every week. That's why I make sure I do at least one episode a week. They're like, "You getting paid yet?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, I'm probably never gonna get paid for this, but you invested a lot of money into that. I'm like, I'm doing what I love. Like, you don't realize, like, I'm selling weed right now. I could still be tattooing.
so yeah, like, I don't know. Everybody looks at the legal industry as being a fucking, it's gonna be a gold mine. It's gonna be a ton of money for everybody to make.
You guys must be rich, owning a dispensary.
I tell you,
No.
it's a struggle for companies to fucking cover their own bills and just fucking make a little bit of profit. And most of them aren't even doing that. Most of them are fucking just working in the hole and just trying to hold on until something starts to go their fucking way. And
A lot of places
it sucks.
open up and then drop. They drop like flies.
Yeah.
You see them everywhere. Open up and just disappear.
It's not an easy industry to be in.
Nope.
Um,
Very competitive. Very
Yeah.
competitive.
yeah, and a lot of money. There's a lot of money getting thrown around in this industry, but it's not to any of the fucking people that want to do things right.
We
It's to
have-
the fucking big suits and ties.
Yeah, we've mentioned this a few times, and before legalization, they were promising a lot of things. And it's like, what were we at, like 54 million or billion or something like that? Our first quarterly this year, I think it was million. Well, what are they doing with the fucking money?
Right.
They were like, oh, we're gonna fund our public schools, we're gonna fix your roads so the ambulances can drive you fucking safely, so you're not bumping around and bleeding out the back of our cars, because they released a statistic on that. It was like 1 in 4 people were fucking bleeding out on the way to the hospital because our roads were too fucking unconditional for them to be driving at that speed.
I've driven down a lot of roads in Ontario, man. There's a lot of
Well, like hell, I was riding my freaking
Bridge
scooter.
North area, Ennismore up there, those boonies, man.
I was riding my scooter a couple days ago. Fucking,
Thunder Bay.
I'm just looking ahead, right? Not expecting there to be a legit hole in the fucking road.
Oh yeah, they're just dropping in. It's like,
It was like an old pipe or something there. The pipe just dropped down and left a fucking hole.
Did you see that fucking huge sinkhole in fucking Thailand?
Yeah,
yes, I
Social
did.
media?
that was like perfectly
Massive.
cubed too.
Oh, yeah. The whole intersection, and a bunch of cars and building. Fucking.
That's
That's what I was seeing on TikTok.
And the last I saw, they're pouring concrete in there to just try to fill it up, I guess. I don't know.
let's put heavier shit into a
I don't
sinkhole.
know. I don't know what's going on. That's
Maybe build some support first, then pour. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just see all those other. There's like more countries now, like raising the straw hat pirate flag from like One Piece. Like I got a tattoo of like this flag here.
Yeah.
So what was like Peru or Nepal or something like that, burnt down government buildings because they were like selling them out, cutting their free speech. They were being really corrupt and shit like that. So they like revolted, and rather than like putting up some random flag, they chose an anime because like what they're fighting for in that anime is like they're fighting for the people, fighting against the government and stuff. It's
I think I've seen the riots in that video. It's
Massive
freaking
riots
crazy.
everywhere.
Crazy shit
Like
going on.
they're driving all these
Yeah.
cops into a river and they're all chucking fucking stones at them and shit.
It's a revolt of. They're calling it the revolt of the straw hats.
And it's all. And you know what's funny? It's all Gen Zs.
Yeah, it's all young people
Yeah.
that are finally
Because
sick
it's
of
because
shit.
they're tired of not having work.
And it's not
All
the
this
weird
shit.
ones. It's not the weird Gen Zs.
No.
It's just ones that are like, look, we just need to go back to normality.
Exactly.
Back to this. What's your stance on living soil versus hydroponics?
I think, yeah, like I said, I think that if a grower is passionate and doing things right, and they know what the fuck they're doing, I think you can go with so many different options. Living soil, hydroponics. There's fish cultures now where they're growing with the nutrients from the fish in the water. There's, to me, there's a ton of ways you can grow the plant right. It just has to be done properly the way that you're doing it, right? And like talking about stuff like flushing. Some growers believe that you only need to flush for a few days. Some growers want 6-7 days. Some growers a little longer. Some growers think you go too long, you degrade the plant. There's all kinds of different things around it.
Yep.
But you have to have a little faith in the grower that you choose to follow and trust.
Yes.
Right? And that's why I kind of do the homework that I do to see not just how they're doing everything, but that they give a fuck about what they're doing.
That's actually
That's,
how we choose our cultivar of the week every week. Is I reach out to a few different companies every week with stuff that I've tried, and I'm like, okay, who responded? Now who's willing to have a conversation with me real quickly?
Yeah.
Chat, right? Oh, they did. Okay, let's shoot the shit about them. But sorry.
Yeah,
for-
no, good, yeah, man, I love it. I think that it's the little guys like this that we got to kind of shine the spotlight on and really promote out there, because it's all about for at least these 4 brands we have here: 67 Sins, Unit 15, Frost, and Corner Boy. They're all small Ontario craft, owned by like individuals that are or a couple of people that are fighting to do it right. They want to grow it the way they've always grown it.
Yeah.
In the legacy market and pre-legalization, but they want to do it in the legal market, following the rules, and still putting out that amazing quality at great price points. And it's a struggle for all of them, and that's why more people need to support these kinds of companies. Otherwise, these kinds of companies disappear.
Yeah.
We were talking about success earlier. What does success look like for a craft company specifically in today's market? Like, is it survival, influence, profitability, or just the being able to share their love of the plant with the common folk, I guess?
Yeah, it's I think like it is a struggle for any craft company. It's
I know like everybody's struggling right now.
I think the best way for a craft company to succeed is to fucking put a premium quality product at a fair price point on the market and start sharing it with people, start talking about it, start getting people out there talking about it, start letting people know that it exists. To me, it's all about shining the spotlight on the guys in this industry that care about the products and their brands, and they're looking at this as long term, and they want a solid reputation, they want solid products on the market, and they're not going to let garbage go into their bags.
Yeah.
They won't allow it because it's all about that reputation. So that's the kind of brands that's the way a small craft brand is going to succeed in this industry, is by putting out premium products at a fair price point and then standing 100% behind them and getting people talking about it.
Yep.
Basically.
How do you feel about people serenading to your plants? Or music being played to them?
So I actually did work with a brand for a while that did CBD flower.
Yep.
They grew in the Okanagan in BC, phenomenal quality product, and they played music to their plants all the time.
I know
and they had
exactly.
a very musical kind of hippie culture around the plants all the time. It was grown here farms. I think they still have a CBD flower out there on the market.
Awesome.
I'm not sure if it's here in Ontario, but
We
But
need
it was
more
phenomenal.
medicinal stuff on our market. I will say most of our market looks very recreational right now.
Yeah.
If for us having all these dispensaries that was supposed to help people and stuff, I feel like it's just very recreational.
Yeah.
Because I'll say when I used to work nights, it was like, especially bar nights, people come in, 90% of the crowd that's going to the bar doesn't drink. They just want to get fucked up.
Yeah. So they come in and buy a big fat fucking bag.
Oh, they're buying like $30 single infused pre-rolls. I'm balling. They show up like 4 of these, and all their friends are like, returning later that night. I don't know why it like burnt like this. It's all because you got 60s trying to get all fucked up, hauling on this joint with a simple distillate in it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I back to what I was talking about. I feel we need more medicinal things on there. Like, we have a lot of people that will come in and want to pound like a 6-pack of drinks thinking they're gonna fall asleep. It's like, dude, look at all the sugar in that.
Right.
And then some of them, there's caffeine in it too, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
4 Neon Rush later, why am I fucking just jolting?
Again, I've been there.
I was buying like packs of pearls. Because I have this thing where there'll be like 7 to 9 days at a time where I can't sleep. I'll put on sleep rain music, like smelly things and everything, nothing works. It's buying packs of pearls, the CBN, THC ones. And I bought I think it was the Olivia, the RSO, the
Okay.
Phoenix Tier stuff.
Yeah.
And I was squirting 20 milligrams of the Phoenix Tears on top of one gummy, and that's what I was using to sleep every night.
How much? How
Now,
much?
mind you, I had no more dreams.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't dream anymore with cannabis, actually. I
No,
was saying,
that's something they say is that if you're a heavy smoker.
As someone that
I
suffered
don't
from
remember last
insomnia,
time.
how much would those run me?
see, you're one of those people, dude. It's like with tattoos. How
Like,
much would it?
like roughly, like the price range,
I don't know how deep is a hole.
as deep as it can be.
There you go. I don't know that answer. I'm not at work.
Valid. That's what the website's for.
There you go, right? How do you personally consume cannabis, and has your relationship with it changed as you've become more immersed in the industry?
So I've always been a flower guy and a joint smoker. I have a bong that I use occasionally, but I suck at keeping my glass clean, so I tend to not use it very often.
Okay.
And joints to me are the all-in-one. I fucking spin it up pretty quick. Smoke it, and it's nothing to clean and no waste and
I've been hot next to flowers.
As you can tell, I got the same
Right?
issue.
yeah. See,
I don't clean my bongs.
so I've always been a joint guy. It's almost ritualistic for me to take the nug and grind it up and then
I
get the
just-
smell of that
I
fresh
do
ground.
like that,
and
looking
then
at it on the
roll,
tray.
watching how it falls in kinetic sand. If it's cured right and it's beautiful blood.
That's another thing I've been describing to people. They're grinding it up and they're like, oh, it's so hard to roll. I'm like, well, hold it up and drop it out of your grinder, let it hit your tray. And does it stay together? Does it make a nice shape? Can you tell a story out of it? Or are you just getting like a sandbox? If you're getting a sandbox, you might want to start looking at it better.
I like when I get the weed and I dump it out of my freaking tray onto a nice pile and
It's
just
just a
slowly
Over
spreads.
itself.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
slowly spreads like kinetic sand.
Yeah.
What's one story from your journey, whether like helping someone harvest or seeing a harvest or a partnership or something, or a failure that you think was very aspiring that other growers or representatives should hear?
So yeah, okay. Well, it's something that keeps driving me, keeps pushing me.
Yeah, like why do you keep coming back to this? You say you're
Yeah,
middle-aged now, so.
yeah, I've waited a long time for legalization here, and we're now what 7 years going.
Coming on to 7 years, I think, yeah.
Fucking, we're so far. in.
2018.
And it's still so fucked up, and I worry about the future of it. I want. We should have an industry that is full of good quality products. We should have an industry that, at varying price levels, you can get mids. Mids are fine. Mids, cheap, fucking $20 eights, whatever the fuck, that's great. But they shouldn't be full of fucking dead mold and bacteria.
Yeah.
Care about
We
your
shouldn't.
consumer.
We shouldn't be fucking duping consumers. We shouldn't be fucking selling so many shitty products on the market. We should be making it affordable for fucking small micro producers to find success in this industry if they price accordingly and grow great weed. and we should all work at improving the overall quality of the products in our market by supporting the companies that do it right.
Amen.
Dude, like I feel like a broken record a lot of the times when I'm going to the shops and I'm pitching the same shit about how the majority of producers are radiating and taking shortcuts in the processes and machine trimming their products and putting moldy products on this market. And I talk about all the issues and the bullshit numbers, and I do it in every fucking store, every day in my posts.
Pushback from other stores, like.
I don't get pushback from the stores, but I do get a lot of honest stores that are like, we have to only bring in what we're told by the people that own this company, kind of thing. Because I go to every store. I don't just go to the independents, although some days I contemplate doing that. But I feel like the people that work in like the value buds and the discounted cannabises and the tea cannabises and the Tokyo smokes, the wine plants and all the big chain stores. The people that work within those stores are fucking, for the most part, usually cannabis people too.
Yeah.
I have had experiences where I've walked in and the people that I've met in the store don't even fucking smoke and they don't give two fucks about the beautiful flower that I have in my bag. They don't even care to fucking see. And I'm just like, okay, then I'm not wasting my time.
I sometimes hold reps up when they come in to my work to talk to them because like they don't expect me to be asking like, oh, how long was it cured? Like what flavors did you experience with it and stuff? Like what color was the ash?
So I feel like a lot of the big companies in this industry just go in with like lists of the products they have available.
Here's our flow through.
And it's solely because they're already, like the company has already committed to pulling them in.
Yeah.
And for a lot of those big stores. And
it's not easy for the reps either. I get
that's what makes our industry, that's what's putting it along the wrong side of the wrong path. You know what I mean? It's, if all we're gonna do is sell the products that the big companies pay us to sell, then what the fuck are we even doing?
Doing it all wrong.
We gotta bring the culture back into it. We gotta look for the growers that are doing it right. We gotta look for the people that care about their fucking products, and we gotta support the companies that are gonna make this a fun industry, that are gonna make this a successful industry.
When you 420 rallies back, it doesn't matter that we legalize and we won. Where'd the party go? We should still be getting together as a culture and enjoying each other's company.
Right? Yeah. Right? We should have our festivals. We should have our events.
We're gonna try to hold our own next year.
We should be available at public events too.
Yep.
And to me, we should be able to have sectioned off consumption and sales areas at all ages events. So that, if fucking mommy wants to go pop off for a minute while the kids are playing on the rides with dad, then she can go over and fucking smoke a little fatty for a minute. Yep. Right?
Well, I mean, I'm the kind of person where, cannabis has been in my life for a very long fucking time. Like, even when I was young, going to a lot of like my parents' friends' places and stuff like that. Don't go in the basements. Why? Kids aren't allowed down there.
Right.
But it's like, there's always a weird smell. I'm like, you guys are keeping pet skunks downstairs? Like, they're all weird fucking
What's going on?
right? But, it's, fuck, where was I going with? Yeah. I was like, do I hide my cannabis use from my kid? Or do I teach him about it? Do I educate him about it? Now it's that
How old is your kid?
he's 9 now.
Okay.
And, he can look at a flower for the most part and tell you if it's indica or sativa, lenient by the looks, the densities and stuff of it. By the smells when a bud is cracked, he has a guess of like some of the main terpenes of what could exist,
Yeah.
right? And then I've taught him the different effects, why people use it, why people call it medicine, and then why other people just smoke it, and why we have things like this and stuff, right? So it's like, I don't want it to be taboo for him, and then him go buy off like the streets and shit like that. And because that's another thing is like, we've had illegal dispensaries here in town. I don't have an issue with them selling weed. What I have an issue is with, you have cocaine in there as well. you're selling other drugs out of this stuff, which is mixed
Yeah.
with these really harmful things like fentanyl and stuff,
Right.
which is cross
And that's the
with
biggest
weed.
issue right now. There's so much issue to me with the black market, with the illegal stores, with the fentanyl and the.
And then we
You
hear
know.
stories too about the weed having fentanyl in it. And it's
And
like,
I don't want my kid even having a remote chance of being exposed to that. I have a 16-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
So of course she's out there already,
oh
you
yeah,
know,
Yeah.
doing things.
probably enjoying
I've
it.
warned her of the dangers out there. I've you know, told her how to find the better quality stuff and make sure you're not getting anything.
Roll your own joints
And,
when in a
you know.
party. This is what I tell people too. There's a lot of people lacing joints with things now
Right.
and taking advantage. Be careful, people. Please go to parties. Take your own joints. Sometimes it's okay that when they go puff puff pass, you're the one that they go puff puff pass. If you could design the perfect stoner experience for someone new to the plant, what would it look like from string to singing to sparking a bomb? Like the room, the music playing, food being served, like
Okay, say it again.
what would be if you could design the perfect stoner experience? So
Okay. Somebody's
you-
coming in to smoke.
they're coming into this room that you've designed, they're new to cannabis, and you want to get them hooked to understand that this is not only medicinal, it can be fun. They see both sides. Because we know edibles, we've done an episode of
Well,
edibles stuff.
yeah, okay, let me do this. Let me say, I've had this idea for like what I would love to see a fucking store be. And I basically want it to be that you walk into the store and there's some fucking total fucking stoner sitting on the couch playing fucking PlayStation.
You see that right there, man?
And you got a
You
fucking
can hide your weed in that,
Right?
man.
You got a fucking lounge chair here, some
Play the
fucking rusty
bongo.
weights in the corners, a gym machine covered in laundry, and it's a little stinky, and he's just fucking there playing. He's like, "What are you fucking after, brother?"
That's literally
Right?
my apartment.
That to
You
me
just
would
described
be
my
my ideal
apartment.
store, right? Okay, so you go back over the last fucking whatever, all decades and decades, and that's what you go back as far as like the 70s and 80s, and that's what it was. You go into a fucking dingy little apartment, you're buying off
Little
fucking
head
some
shops
dudes
and
and sitting
stuff,
there
yeah.
fucking, you know. So I just think it would be a nostalgic experience to walk in and fucking just like that, like fucking one guy at a time. You go sit in the chair, you tell the guy what you want, and fucking goes into his little thing, and fucking, here you go, brother. Yeah, all right, you pay the lady on the way out, right? Fucking whatever. It's just an experience.
Fuck yeah.
I think it'd be so much fun. But then,
Exactly.
then you gotta be able to smoke inside, because you can't do it and not have the guy fucking sitting there baked.
See, that's-
He's gotta be fucking
I
baked for
used
his
to
shift, fucking playing
love-
fucking PlayStation.
I call it home. Vancouver, I made home. I born and raised Peterborough, but I went west and I did my growing up.
Yeah.
Growing up out there,
Yeah.
right? So it's, there was a place called the New Amsterdam next to Mark Emery's glass shop.
Okay.
And, smoke lounge up top.
Yeah.
They had a way of cleaning bongs and stuff. You like rent bong was really cool. Nice smoke lounge. So if you didn't have any buddies and stuff at your store, you could just go set up at all these tables. Someone would just start talking to you, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
we all know the more we smoke, the more we talk.
Yeah.
This place like served non-infused food, beverages, all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, you need to stay hydrated, you get the munchies and stuff. But then you could go downstairs in this establishment. They had all the leather couches and stuff.
Yeah.
It was a dab lounge.
Oh, okay.
It was so fucking cool, man. Like,
Yeah, man.
and it was, they weren't told we need you guys to like study what they're doing. So we just want people to have a safe space to enjoy this.
Right.
And
Right. And that's
we
what it's
need
all
it.
about.
We
man.
need
I mean, that's what we.
The entire industry needs a safe space.
Yes.
And that's what we
Yeah, right.
don't have right now.
And that's the whole thing, and that's, to me, there's a missed opportunity for a ton more revenue for the government, and an opportunity to create a whole new fucking environment. Like, people go to the clubs and they get all fucking wired on their fucking alcohol and dance, and they fucking get
Yeah.
all, you know, and that's that vibe. But there's a chill fucking lounge too, where everybody wants to hit the fucking hookah and fucking, you know, and sit back and watch a movie or play a game or fucking whatever the fuck, shoot some pool, or, you know, it's gonna be a more chill fucking environment, but it's gonna be somewhere that people are gonna wanna go and fucking hang out. And right now, it's not possible because there's no way to make profit off only the smoking lounge itself if you can't sell the fucking products there,
Yeah.
right? So, I don't know if that'll ever come. I do hope that it does.
Same.
I miss the hot box in Toronto, Kensington Market.
Yeah.
Jane Doe.
Okay,
I think it's now Herbie. Has a weed company.
okay.
Pretty decent.
Okay, yeah.
The bougie bud. And
Yeah,
it's alright. Not bad. I feel like it, no offense, could be a little bit better, but that's my taste. Other people might like it, right? More
Yeah.
than I do.
Yeah.
As my music teacher years ago told me, there's no music you don't like, just music you don't understand.
Mm-hmm. Right. That makes sense.
there's music I don't like. I don't like country.
I'll say I don't like this new country. It's just pop music with fiddles. Is there anything you feel we missed in today's discussion before we?
No, I think if there's anything that your viewers should take away from this, it's that we, as consumers, control this industry and control where it's gonna go. If we continue to buy the shitty products in this industry, the cheapest things on the shelves, the one that lie about the numbers, the stuff from the big companies, if we continue to buy those, then that's the way this industry will go, and it'll become a tourist industry, and it will be, there will always be that legacy behind it, that legacy market to the side that the rest of us are living in, because we won't want to be in this legal space. But we have the option to support the companies that do it right, and if we do that, we support the small growers that care about the brands, care about the products they're putting on the market. That's how we fix it. That's how we make this industry better, because by buying those products, those are going to become the more prevalent products in the industry. And these other companies are going to start folding. They're going to start losing their businesses because they're not going to be able to compete with the quality that the real craft growers are putting out. So support your small craft company that's local to you, that you're a fan of the products of. If you want any of my suggestions or recommendations, know that they come fully vetted. I've checked out the brands, 67 Sins, Unit 15, and Frost Cannabis, and I 100% stand behind the products they're putting on this market, because they're all guys that care about their quality and are fighting for that successful legal business within the cannabis space. So
Yeah.
that about sums it up, I guess.
Fuck yeah. I want to give you a huge thanks coming out.
Oh,
Give a little gift to her. A little bit of sweet, salty, and chocolate.
all
Helps
right.
with the munchies.
Nice, brother.
Yeah, your insights into the craft cannabis world, from everything cultivating to the market challenges, it's been not only educational, it's been a fucking blast to chat. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I came out. I was, I don't do a lot of this kind of stuff.
I was actually anxious myself. I've been kind of talking about it the last few days at work. I'm like, I hope I don't fuck this one up. This is like one of our biggest guests we've had on.
Well, it's, I wouldn't call myself a big guest. I'm just a guy that saw an issue in the industry and wanted to do whatever I could to help fucking fix it. You know,
That's what we appreciate, babe.
I think that the industry needs more people doing this. I think that the industry needs more people fighting for the little guys in this industry. And just trying to educate the consumers about the bullshit that goes on behind the scenes, because there's too many things that the consumer needs to be aware of that they're not telling them. And we all need to be telling the consumers.
Yep.
So educate your consumers in your shop and fucking teach them what irradiation is. Teach them what the big companies are doing, about the partnerships, what the shortcuts they're taking. Teach them that they gotta do their homework and find small craft companies that they know they can trust and support.
It's more than just selling weed, everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
So, last but not least, to everybody tuning in, thank you. Your support means everything. Whether you're a seasoned connoisseur or just curious about the plant, we're here because of you. Keep listening, keep learning, and most of all, stay high, motherfuckers.
Peace, guys.
Peace.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
That was cool.